It was up this.
Hey, congratulations on passing. So how many courses have you done so far?
It's good. That was the second one. So she just unlocked 2 more now. So I think this is CR4, and then it's going to be, I think, until like CR8. I think so. It's a good amount. But I just did one of the tests right now, which the pre-test for that. What I told you, the evaluation. Whatever I said. And it was pretty easy. It wasn't even because I looked up a video on YouTube.
The equivalent ratios.
This one was more of just like, hey, this lady is trying to make, or whatever. There's like the ratio table, the chart,
mm-hmm.
and it was like 20, 60, 80, 120, and then it had the numbers next to it of dye you needed to do to dye a shirt or something. And it was pretty much I just divided to find the wrong one.
Okay. I
can show you. It was pretty freaking easy. So I still think, I don't know how many, because I know the English I'm on CR8. So this is barely the CR4. So.
All right. Well, if you want to go over something, then we do that, or we can go on to the next one, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, well, we can start on this one. That one was super easy. This one is ratios in real world situations.
I feel like that means word problems, so we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be like the last one. Other ones. We'll see right now.
Cool. Oh.
A cake mix calls for these ingredients: 3 cups of milk or 6 cups of flour. Which is the lowest ratio?
Do you have any idea on how to do that?
No, the other one had its chart. I mean, how would we write it out? Or wait, let me look at it first.
Okay.
So it'd be okay. Yeah, because I just got to figure out. So it'd be I would just look at the cup of oil, obviously, right? And then sugar would be the lowest.
Oil and sugar. Maybe. Sugar and...
So the sugar is 2 cups. The cup of oil is 1.
Okay, so there's...
I don't know if that's the way to do it, but yeah, I don't know. They're probably trying to trick me.
Yeah, there's 2 things that we could do. One of them's like really easy, and then the other one is involving making them all into similar fractions, like a common denominator. Hold on, let me write down all this stuff. 3 milk. So 3 milk, 6 flour, 2 sugar,
and 1 oil.
1 oil, and then it's milk over flour, sugar over milk, oil over sugar, and sugar over flour. Okay. So,
you want to switch over?
Yeah. So the quick way, if you have a calculator, the quick way is just to write down all the ratios and then put them in a calculator and see what you get. So a ratio is just a fraction, and if every time you have a fraction, you can always get a decimal just by putting it into the calculator. So
just dividing it, right?
Yeah. So the milk over the flour, that would be 3 over 6. You could reduce this, or you could do it in the calculator. We'll save that till later until we write them all down. The sugar over the milk, that would be 2 over 3. And then the oil over the sugar, that would be 1 over 2. And then the sugar over the flour, that would be 2 over 6. All right. So And it's asking you which one's the smallest ratio, right?
Yes.
So you could just divide all of these. This one, if you put it in the calculator, you get 0.5. Or you could...
and then for the oil and the sugar, I think, as well.
Yeah, that would also be 0.5. That's because if you divide the top by 3 and the bottom by 3, 3 divided by 3 is 1. And then 6 divided by 3 is 2. So you get 1/2 and 1/2. So that's the same. 2 divided by 3, I think that's 0.66 repeating.
Yeah, I see. That's what I got when it was.
So this one is bigger than this one, right? And then if you divide this one, what is this? This is
it's like 0.41, what type of number? It's the smallest one, I guess.
Yeah, 2 divided by 6. That's what I got. 2 divided by 6, 0.3 repeating.
2 divided by 6. Yeah. 0.3. So that'd be the smallest one.
Yeah. So it's like kind of tricky. It's not.
So I would have messed up. Yeah.
It's not what's the smallest on top. It's what's the smallest. It's actually, so you could make these all into the same denominator. They all have different denominators, or these two are the same, but it's hard to compare. It's hard to see which one is more, which one is less, until you have the same denominator. So like we could make them all have a denominator of 6. That would be 3/6 for that one. We could make this one have a denominator of 6 by multiplying by 3 in the top and the bottom. This is like getting a common denominator. Yeah, this would be 3/6. This one multiplied by 2. This would be 4/6.
4/6.
And then this one's already 2/6. 2/6. Now that they all have the same denominator, you can look at the numerator in the top and like, oh, that's the smallest one. Yeah, now it's the smallest one. So 2/6, that one. Or you could just divide in the calculator and be done with it. Either way.
So how do you get, because I had a problem with one of the freaking problems. I think I just forgot and I didn't go back and look at the video. So if there's a fraction like 1/2, but there's the 1 in front of it, how do you break that down?
I see.
So like the line, right?
1 and a 1 like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's say that was a math problem, like with the and then you got the plus times 3x or something, you know.
Yeah. Okay. So one thing that you could do, and say it's like equals.
I know. I think you've shown me before. I just think I should just go watch.
Well, no. This is kind of different. But if we had something like this, to turn this into a fraction, it's the same thing as saying, all that is the same thing as saying one whole number plus, and then change this into a decimal, 0.5, so 0.5. So this would be 1.5 plus 3x. Okay. I think this is the simplest way to do it. And then the 4 and the 1/3. Well, it would be the same idea. Since it's a big 4, it would be 4 plus whatever decimal that is, and that would be, if you divide it, 1 divided by 3, it would be 0.3. 3 repeating, yeah. So then this would just be 4.03. Or sorry, not 4.0, but 4.3.
4.3. Cool.
That's the way I would do it, and then you just solve it like normal, subtract the 1.5 from that, and then divide both sides by 3. That's what I would do. Do you want to know the other way to change this into a different fraction, or we'll get there when we get there?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So this is the harder way. I wouldn't do this unless they were specifically asking me to. And you'll see why. You can change this into an improper fraction by doing multiplication. So 2 times 1 is 2, and then addition. So 2.
Do the addition and the...
Yeah, you do multiplication first, 2 times 1, and that would be 2, and then you do 2 plus whatever's here. So that would be 3, and then you keep the denominator. So that would be 3 over 2.
Okay.
And if you divide 3 over 2 in the calculator, you get 1.5 anyway.
Okay.
So it's the same idea. But you multiply from the bottom to the whole number, and then whatever you get, you add to the top of the fraction. That's how to convert it into an improper fraction. And then you do the same thing over here. Multiply and add. So this would be 3 times 4 is 12. So that would be a 12. And then plus 1 is 13. So this would be 13. You keep the bottom number. And then 3x plus. And then subtract this over 3 over 2 minus 3 over 2 because it's the farthest away from the x. And so you got 3x equals, and then 13 over 3 minus 3 over 2. Whenever you're adding or subtracting, you have to get a common denominator. So here the question is, what can you multiply to this number and then to this number so that they come out to be the same number? And in this case, the same number would be 6, because you can multiply this one by 2 and then this one by 3. And then this would be 26 over 6 minus 9 over 6. And then you just, whenever you have the denominators the same for adding or subtracting, you can write it one single time. And then 26 minus 9 is 16, 17, 6. And then divide both sides by 3.
Okay.
We'll do, I don't want to keep doing that one, but
yeah.
We'll go on to a different one, and if we need to, we'll see. I just think it's probably easiest just to change them into decimals, if you remember.
All right, so it was the sugar versus flour, I believe. It was the 2 over the 6, right?
It was the 2 over the 6. Yeah, sugar over flour. Yep.
All right. Store sells ink cartridges and packages. Which 2 packages have the same ratio of cartridges to cost?
So it's saying cartridges to cost. That just means you put the number of cartridges over the cost. So like cartridges go on top, cost goes on bottom. And then you just divide each one and see which ones are the same. Like you can put it in the
same thing.
Yeah. Except for now you have to make up the fractions, but it's just telling you to put like package A, that 3 is the number of cartridges, and then the cost would be 60. So you do 3 divided by 60, write that number down. 6 divided by 60, write that number down. 1 divided by 20, write that number down. 3 divided by 20, write that number down. Which ones are the same?
Yeah, so it would be, okay.
Yeah, I got to do it too. I haven't done it yet.
Yeah, I think I already found the one. It would be the 6 over 60, but 3 divided by 20. Yeah, it'd be the B one. I think I got like point under 6 divided by 60 would be 0.1.
0.1.
A is a 0.5, and then I got a 60. Well, maybe not. Wait up.
Yeah, I gotta do them over. Divided by 60.
I'm still getting the 6 divided by 60 would be the lowest.
Well, it's not asking.
But it's the same ratio, right?
Yeah, so you got to pick 2 of them.
Yeah,
so
right.
2 of them should come out to the same decimal.
3 divided by 20. It'd be A and C.
Yeah. That's what I got.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah, I didn't even do the last one just because.
You already
Yeah,
found
they're
two,
already
right?
the same number.
So these are all pretty much just like division.
Yeah,
Or bracket.
yeah. Ratio, all it is division. It's one number divided by another one. Okay, so on this, the question says which person has the lowest ratio of blue to red marbles? That wording, blue to red, that just
Red,
lets
yeah.
you know that. Well, do you know which one goes on top and which one goes on bottom with that wording?
Is it always the first?
Yeah,
So the blue?
yeah. Blue to red, that's the same thing as saying blue over red.
Oh, okay. Blue to red. So Aaron, I would think it's the. No, I think it was the.
What'd you get for Jasmine when you divided it?
1.2. I was just gonna write them down so I don't get mixed up.
Okay, that's what I got.
So I think it'd be Lucian. I don't know,
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, L.
but yeah, should be the lowest.
Yeah.
Lucian.
Okay, greatest ratio of wins to losses.
So it's the same, right? 'Cause
Same
the
idea,
wins over the loss.
except for greatest, like the biggest one.
So the Tigers.
No,
wait.
What did you get for Tigers?
Which team has the greatest ratio of wins to losses?
Yeah. So
for the the most 0.6.
you got that for Tigers?
Yeah, did I do it?
3 divided by 5 is
It would be
0.6, that's right.
0.6.
And then Bulldogs was 8 divided by 5. 1.6.
1.6.
So 1.6.
20.
What about 20 divided by 10 is 2.
I got 2.
That's the biggest one.
And then 12 divided by 10, 1.2.
So
Yeah,
it'd be
that's what always freaking
Bobcats.
the way they word it.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right.
It's the greatest.
Friends bought flowers to make table centerpieces. Write the ratios of purple flowers to white flowers for each friend. Who has the smallest ratio of purple to white? So this one's the smallest number. And purple
Okay, so
to
it's not
white.
gonna be
All right.
it'd be Julian, right?
What'd you get for that?
Chilean, I mean. I got 5. Then I guess. Oh no, wait up. So it'd be Rowan.
Yeah, Rowan.
Because cause I could just. I don't even need to just calculate.
I got
5
4.
to that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So these. Why is it getting easier as we go on?
I don't know.
I mean, maybe. I would think they would try to hit you with the, after like what we did before. It was
Yeah,
a little
the
more
stuff
difficult.
before
Yeah,
was.
more work.
Hey, whatever.
Yeah. 4 friends bought books at the bookstore. At a bookstore, the person who got the best deal has the lowest ratio of cost to a number of books purchased. Who got the best deal?
Let me know when you have an answer, and then I'll check it.
Okay.
I'm gonna do it too.
The lowest ratio of cost to a number of books purchased. I got Brain had the lowest.
What number did you get for that?
It was point something. No, that's just 2 actually.
Yeah, you're doing $8 divided by 4 books, so 8 divided by 4.
Yeah, so I was. So 30 divided by 16.
What'd you get for that?
Like 230, 2.30. But let me double check.
Yeah, do that again.
1.875.
That's the one. Yeah.
The first time. I don't know what. I think I didn't hit the C here. 1.875.
And what about key or K or
4,
whatever you said? Kai.
2.25. 25. 7. Kate had 30 divided by 16. 1.87.
What about the second one?
I think it was 4, right?
It's 12 divided by 8.
It's 12 divided by 8, yeah. 1.25.
12 divided
And
by...
then check the last one again. Would be 2. So Kate had it.
It would be KEI. Because it's 12 divided by 8.
Okay, let me check the. Oh, yeah, it's 1.5. So something went wrong with my thing.
Yeah.
So the other guy had 1.87.
Mm-hmm. So it would be
Yeah, right.
the second one.
K would have 1.5.
Yeah. Okay.
Meredith has 8 to 9 pens. 8 pens and 9 pencils.
All right, so there's 2 ratios. One is 8/9, and the other one is 4/9.
Yeah.
Right, because it says
So
pens to pencils.
It'd be C, right? 4/9 would be less than 8/9.
So that one, it would be D, because here, let me share real quick.
Yeah.
So this one, because it looked like a L, this would be less than.
Yeah.
And we always read it from the left side to the right side. So if we had, what was it, 8/9 and then 4/9, since the bottom is the same, you don't even have to look at it to compare them. You already can tell this one's bigger, so it should be that way. And another way to think of it is like what we used to say was Pac-Man eats the bigger number. So if you make it into like a little Pac-Man, it's
cool.
hungry.
Yeah, I didn't realize that if the numbers on the bottom are the same.
Yeah, if the numbers on the bottom are the same, I mean, you could just divide it in the calculator and it'd be the same idea because 8 divided by 9 is
smaller, right?
0.08, blah, 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 blah. And then 4 divided by 9 is 0.4 repeating. So the 0.8 repeating is bigger than the 0.4, so it'd still be like that.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Over this. I guess we can read it.
Yeah, we'll read it first. Okay, it's the same idea. Which correctly compares their ratios, blue to yellow. So yellow should be on bottom, so the 2 should be on bottom, and it is for all of them.
So it'd be freaking the same exact thing. So it'd be A, right?
5 is bigger than 3. Yeah, looks good. Yeah. So that third one is not right because yellow should be on bottom.
Over the 3 and
yeah, and it's over 2. The 3. Same with the last one. That's why that one's wrong. If they didn't have the same yellow number, then we'd just divide it in the calculator anyway to figure it out.
Cool.
Michael and Sandra are mixing lemonade. In Michael's lemonade, the ratio of lemons to water is 1 to 4. So when there's a colon in between the numbers, it's the same thing as saying 1 to 4. Or 1.
It's divided, right?
Yeah, 1 divided by 4.
Okay.
In Sandra's lemonade, the ratio of lemons to water is 2 to 6. Several equivalent ratios for each mixture are shown in the ratio tables. All right, then what's the question? Imagine that you want to compare Michael's ratio to Sandra's ratio. Which 2 ratios in the tables shown have a common denominator you could use to compare? I see. So it's asking.
Write this down?
Yeah, here.
What mean?
It's asking to actually get a common denominator. So what was it? Was 1 to 4.
Okay. Let's see.
And 2 to 6.
Michael's
right?
lemonade, the ratio is 1/4, and then the ratio of lemons is 2/6. Sandra's is 2/6.
And then scroll down just real quick. And it's asking the ratios in the table have become there. Yeah, okay. Let me share. So this one's actually asking you to get a common denominator. So if it's written like this, that's the same thing as doing 1 divided by 4. This is the same thing as doing 2 divided by 6. And then it's asking for a common denominator. So the bottom number eventually will be the same number. And there's only 2 answers that have the bottom number being the same number. It's the first and the second one, right?
Okay.
So, like the first answer and the second answer, they both, I think, they both have a.
Look. Yeah, they both got the. Yeah, you're right. Both. It's 3/4 and 6/4, and then it's 3/12 and 4/12.
Okay, so that's kind of the hint. The way you make a common denominator is by asking yourself, what can I multiply to this, and then maybe multiply another number to this, or the same number. Sometimes it's the same, sometimes it's different, so that they end up being the same number. And in this case,
12, right? I mean, 2.
Yeah, this one you'd multiply by 2, and this one you multiply by 12. Or sorry, not 12, 3. Because you want it to end up as the same number. So this would be 3 over 12, and this would be 4 over 12.
Oh, okay, I see.
So they're asking for that common denominator, and that common denominator would be 12. Is that what that second answer said?
Is that one of them? Let me see. What was it? 12 over...
It was
3, 4... Yeah, 3 over 12 and 4 over 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one.
Yeah, that's the one.
Cool.
The player with the highest ratio of blue marbles to purple. So blue to purple. So blue's on top. Person with the highest ratio gets to go first. Who gets to go first?
It'd be Alberto. He had like 0.4166.
Okay. All right, let me share on this one.
Let me reread it in case I gotta go further.
No, I think I see what's happening. What did you get for the first one?
Player 0.83333.
Yeah. All right, let me share real quick. Because I got that same thing.
But it's wrong.
Yeah, this one's not right. The third one's not right. And this is the reason. When you can write it like 0.83, this means it's just 3 forever, right? So you can write as many 3s as you want. So even though you write 0.83, it's really 0.833333 forever. So it's not like this one's 416. If you're going to write 3 decimal places here, then you should write 3 decimal places here to compare it. So 0.833 and 0.416. This one is bigger, but still, that's not even the biggest. The biggest one would be 1.6 repeating, just because all of these aren't even a full number.
Yeah.
So it would be the last one.
Okay. Yeah, well, I read the. Yeah, that's why I was going to reread it. So I just read it wrong. The actual question.
Yeah.
They randomly choose a handful of marbles from the bag. The player with the highest. Yes, yeah, I thought it was the lowest.
Oh, I see. Let's see what the next section is. Yeah.
See, I'll do it again just to make sure. All right, so this is going to throw us to the next one then. Los.
It's going to make you time out.
Sometimes it does some random thing where like around a certain time, dude, it just kicks you out.
Oh
and
yeah,
it
didn't you say?
Yeah, one day I did it, like around 9:30 or some weird random time.
How did you fix it? Like, oh,
So you just gotta keep trying to log in, and it just keeps loading.
so we should do it earlier next time.
No. I mean, this is perfect because by the time I get home, and then I'll go do my workout or whatever, and then take a shower, and then except I don't know if it's too late for you, but we can just do like an hour a day, you know.
Okay, this is good for me.
Or-
If it
Yeah,
doesn't work, we should.
even if it's like till 9 and 9:15, then I'm good.
Yeah. Okay.
I wasn't sure if you wanted to do it earlier, you know.
This time is like perfect. Because then like Christine and I can have dinner when she gets home, and then like we're
Yeah. So
coming down. So
I don't know if she goes to sleep or here one. What's up with Cody? Have you talked to him?
a couple times. He said that work, like he's got a lot of overtime. He's going in on weekends because
Yeah.
pretty much half the people are gone at his work because of COVID. Either they are like testing or they just got rid of people. I don't know, but he's like, yeah, there's overtime. He's working a lot of weekends, which
Good for him.
yeah, he's getting more money. But
Yeah, I mean, that's what he wanted, you know.
yep.
I mean, I'm sure he's still burned out, you know.
Yeah, that's what he keeps saying. He's like kind of overworking so much.
So much, yeah. But that's what I was telling him. That's what you're getting into when you go there.
Right.
It's just like, and it's good because they're not gonna lay you off if you always bust your ass.
Right. That was the thing. Like
I'm sure it sucks.
he's like, yeah, I'm only making like $300 more a paycheck, and I was saying, well, that
Tax
plus
the shit out of his ass.
yeah, but then that, and then I asked him how long it takes him to get to work, and he's like, 12 minutes. So
Yeah, and the gas, you know, wear and tear, you know.
But
because think about it, if you've been over there at HRD, he was working 10-hour days with the company, not getting paid.
I mean, it's basically your time is taken up for 10 hours, so you're just paying for part of the drive. Dude, the time keeps going.
You see it?
Yeah. Hey, have you tried to sign out or?
I can try to get out of here. I know what you're saying. It tried to submit, but didn't submit, so hopefully it'll do something stupid.
Return the course map.
You return the course map not in question you have already seen. Well, I better not freaking.
Well, it says it'll be locked, and you already
Yeah.
set the answer. So
submitted it.
Oh,
so then now it went in. Look.
That was for the one that we just did.
Yeah.
All right.
I think. Okay, what's it doing now? Give it to this one. Unit rates.
Unit rates. I'm guessing this is probably more fractions but you're just trying to reduce a fraction so that it's a. Well, do you want to try it?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd rather do it with you and then get some insight into it than just jump into it or try to watch a video or something.
All right.
Okay.
On each gallon of a van can travel 18 miles on each gallon of gasoline. At that rate, how many miles can the van travel on 15 gallons of gasoline? Okay. There's a real simple formula for this. You might be able to just figure it out. Do you want to just try it, or do you want
I could just divide it, but I mean,
that's what I was going to say to do anyway.
Yeah. What would be the easiest way to do it, though? You want to share? Besides me dividing freaking 15 or I can do the 18. A van can travel 18 miles on each gallon of gasoline at that rate.
Yeah, let me share because I'll explain a little bit more than this question, but it says 18 miles on a a gallon of gasoline, and then how far can you go with 15 gallons? Okay. All right. So you can go 18 miles for 1 gallon.
Yeah.
So then the question is,
how many miles can you go? 15 gallons.
Yeah. What if you have?
Well, back on each gallon. Oh, I see. So you can just pretty much
What?
I would just multiply 15
and what
to see what number it fits in. Wait up! Oh, I can do it. I'll do the. A van can travel 18 miles per gallon, pretty much.
Yeah. So on the first
how
gallon,
many can it travel in 18 gallons. Yeah, so I would just multiply 18 times 15.
Yeah. So the unit rate, I think what they're talking about is 18 miles per 1 gallon.
Yeah.
Usually you just write 18 miles per gallon like that, or just like miles per gallon like that. But all those mean the same thing. All three of those mean the same thing.
Yeah.
The unit rate just means that there's a 1 in the bottom. If you had like 18 miles per 2 gallons, this wouldn't be a unit rate. You would have to simplify this. You either just divide in the calculator, or reduce. You could divide by 2, divide by 2. That would be 9 until you have a 1 in the bottom.
Okay.
And so 18 miles for every 2 gallons, the unit rate would be 9 miles per gallon. And then after that,
so use the
after that, you just multiply. So basically, to get the unit rate, you just divide the numbers, and then afterwards, multiply for how much you have. Because if you have the unit rate for like 18 miles in 1 gallon, then you can just, if there's 1.5 gallons, I just do 18 times 1.5, or whatever number there is. So we'll see another one. That was just a quick extra thing.
Yeah, that one was pretty. Well, here we go. There's some different ones. A car travels 22 miles for every gallon of gasoline used. The table below represents this relationship, which equation correctly shows a pair of equivalent ratios that can be used to find the unknown.
Yeah, this one's different. Okay. Let me write this down real quick and then I'll explain it.
Oh yeah, this one is pretty. I mean, it's pretty easy to.
Yeah, what do you think? What are you thinking?
I mean, right there, it would just just double it. 1 times 22, 44, then it'd be 66.
Right. So you figured out x at 66, but it's asking which equation.
It's actually making it good, yeah.
All right. Can I show something?
Yeah.
So the unit rate was 22 miles for every 1 gallon of gas. It didn't say 1 gallon, but it said every gallon of gas, and it just means every 1 gallon. That would be the unit rate, 22 over 1. So if you did this number over this, you get the unit rate. But same thing, if you do the 44 over the 20 or over the 2, and if you divide that, you still get
Be the same thing, right?
22. You could put it over 1 or you could leave it because 22 over 1 is the same thing as just 22. And then you do 88 divided by 4. That also gives you 22. So that means x over 3 has to equal the same as all of this.
Mm-hmm. It'll be 66 over, so it'd be 20.
It would be 66 over 3, but the equation would be either 22 over 1, or you could do 44 over 2 equals x over 3, or you could do 88 over 4 equals x over 3, because they all, once you divide them, they'll all equal the unit rate, including that x divided by 3. You just don't know what that x is. Is one of those there?
Sure.
Oh, none of those are there. 22 over 1.
It'd be B. I would say B, right? Or
22 over 1 equals...
Actually, it would be either D or...
Oh, it is there. Yeah, 22, it's D. Yeah. 22 over 1 equals x over 3. That was it. I just got confused with all the other ones.
Well, they have the 1 over the 22.
Yeah, that confused me for a second. Oh, okay. At one farmer's market, bananas cost 80 cents per pound. So that's the unit rate right there, 80 cents over 1 pound. At another farmer's market, bananas are sold in 5-pound bags for $4.50 per bag, which explains how to find the better buy. Okay, before we look at the answers, I want to explain this one.
You want to show me?
Yeah, before we look at the answers.
Okay. That's good.
So it said 80 cents for 1 pound, right?
Yeah.
That was one of the deals. But then it also said $4.50 $4.50 for 5. So this would be the unit price or the unit rate because the bottom number is a 1. So if you did 80 or 0.80 divided by 1, you get the same thing, 0.8 or 0.80, same thing. So this is already the unit price or unit rate. To get this one to be the unit rate, we would have to just divide. So 4.50 divided by 5 equals 0.9.
Should be 90 cents, I would say, right?
Yeah, so 90 cents per 1 pound. That would be the unit rate. So once they're both into unit rates, which one is the better deal?
The first market.
Yeah. 80 cents for 1 pound. Because that,
yeah.
That's all you're doing. You're just dividing it so that you get a 1 in the bottom, or just do the division in the calculator, and then it's that's the unit rate.
Cool.
So what are the explanations for? Because it's asking which one explains.
I didn't even look at them. I was writing down the 0.80 and then 450, which explains how to find the better buy. Divide $4.50 by 5 to find the unit rate for the 5-pound bag and compare that number to 80 per pound.
I think that's the answer.
Divide 0.80. You're not going to multiply. I guess you can do the bottom one, but divide it. What about the 80 by 5 to find the unit rate for the 5-pound bag?
Right. So
and compare.
The 80 by 5, that's mixing both of the rates because it was 80 per 1 pound for one of the markets, and then the other one was 450 for 5 pounds for a different market. So 80 divided by 5, that's mixing the two markets together. But the whole goal is, or the whole idea is realizing that the 80 per pound, that's a unit rate. And then 4.50 and 5 pounds, that's not a unit rate. So to compare them, you have to get them both to be unit rates. So you divide 4.50 by 5, and that'll give you a unit rate. Okay, so here they're talking about setting up a ratio, setting up an equation. It hasn't talked about like solving the equation yet, but
which one shows, right?
Yeah. Which equation correctly shows a pair of equivalent ratios that can be used to find the cost of 3.5 pounds of grapes?
If I were to guess, it'd be A.
All right, let's see. Actually, I think that's right. No, I think that's right. So this is, here, let me, I want to just...
Well, I mean, to me, the first thing that comes to my mind is just like, all right, I'll just multiply, you know.
Right.
1.5 for the 2.5 pound.
Yeah, that would be to figure out what X is, but
yeah,
they're asking for the equation, so...
Equation.
But I think the one that you guessed is correct.
Do you want to show anything? Or?
Yeah. So the information that it gave you was for 1 pound, it costs, what was it, 1.55?
For 1 pound, yeah, 1.55.
So
trying to find out the ratio of 3.5 pounds.
Yeah, so automatically right there, it's like the unit rate would be $1.55 over 1 pound. So dollars is in top, pounds is in bottom. If you're going to set up an equivalent ratio, maybe you have an X on the top, or maybe you have an X on the bottom. But there's only one other piece of information, right? And it was the, what was it, 3.5 pounds?
The 3.5 pounds for 3 grapes. I mean, for 3 pounds, I guess.
Yeah, and it said, like, set up, did it say ratio or proportion? It said ratio, right?
It said, yeah. Which equation correctly shows a pair of equivalent ratios that can be used to find the cost of 3.5 pounds of grapes?
So if the ratios are going to be equivalent, if you're going to be able to put an equal sign in between, then if you put dollars on top here, you got to put dollars on top on the other side. If you put pounds on top, then you would have to put pounds on top. But we did pounds on bottom and dollars on top. So we actually don't know the dollars, but we do know the pounds, right?
Yeah.
It was 3.5. So as long as you have dollars on top, if you're saying that these ratios are equivalent, yeah, you got to have the same thing on top on both sides. Same unit, or same, I guess, unit of measurement. In this case, it'd be dollars for the top. We don't know how many that is, but the units for it is dollars, and the units for the bottom is pounds. So if it's an equivalent ratio, meaning you put the equal sign in between the fractions, then you have to have like money on top, pounds on bottom. We used to say, like, if you're doing apples and oranges, you got to have oranges on the same side in the top, and you're gonna have apples on the same side. You can't compare apples and oranges. They have to be both the same thing on the top and the same thing on the bottom in terms of units. But yeah, you would have gotten it right on that one.
It looked like the best option.
Yeah. Okay.
Effective bulbs. All right, so this is just doing the same thing. Well, not really. I guess it's just 6 times 14 would be 84, right? But that's probably not the question. Technician expects to find 24 defective bulbs when 336 are tested. Which statement explains whether the technician's reasoning is correct based on the information in the table?
So you had the right idea, or like the right pattern recognition for that, because 6 times 14 is 84. So I guess it would be 24 times 14 equals 336. That's right. But what does it say in the table? The technician expects 24 defective bulbs when 336 are tested.
Okay.
Which do you think?
Let me go through them. I don't think we see the last one, right? The reasoning is correct. The ratio of number of bulbs tested to defective bulbs is always 14 to 1. The reasoning is correct. Number of defective bulbs doubles. I'd say it's A. The reasoning is not correct because the first two values in each row is doubled. So a technician should have doubled 6 to get the missing value.
I say the correct one is also A. Because if you get the unit rate, it's always 14 to 1. Like 14 divided by 1 is 14 to 1. 28 divided by 2 is 14 to 1. Number 2 isn't wrong, but because like if you do 1, that first 1, and you double it, you get the 2. And if you take the 2 and you triple it, you get the 6. And if you take the 6 and you times it by 4, you get the 24. But the only reasoning I would say on this one is it's talking about the ratio of number. Like we're talking about ratios and unit rates and stuff, and it says 14 to 1. It doesn't mention that in the second one. So I think it's the first one.
The first one. See, that's how they try to trick you too.
Because it's the second answer is not wrong, but it's not exactly what the section is talking about. So that's why I don't think that's the answer.
How many pounds of bananas cost $3.75?
Okay.
75. So it'd be 6 bananas, right? Well, I mean 5 bananas. Let's see before I go because it's 75.
Oh yeah, if the pattern holds, right?
$3. Yeah, it just goes with it.
Well, try it. What do you think?
Well, I'm going to. That's what I always do it because I'm like, oh man, these 50 guys always or I'll accidentally leave and mess up.
Mm.
So I'm just gonna do 6 times 75. Six times. Oh, I'm doing the wrong one. 5 times.
5, right? Yeah.
375.
So the pattern holds up also, but the way that you check it is good too, because like you know that 1 pound costs 75 cents, and then just to double check, okay, well if I bought 2 pounds, it'd be 75 times 2, and that's 150. Okay, then you know that the unit price would have to be 75 cents for 1 pound. So if you wanted to get the unit price, you do 3.75 divided by 5. And if you get 75 cents, then you got it. Yeah. Or you just multiply the other way.
This is what the first that first pretest I did was like all based on, pretty much.
Yeah.
It was pretty easy.
This one's a little bit different than the first one that we did. A car can travel 38 miles on each gallon of gasoline.
To travel 198 miles, right?
Yeah, now you're trying to figure out how much
So
gas.
I would just multiply 38 until I find 190.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Add all these 4 numbers, right?
That's what, yeah.
So it's definitely not 20, so then I would do 38 times 5, and that's it right there.
Yep. Yeah, on the first one we did like the 38 times the 190, but it was 38 miles, and then how many miles did you go on? 15 gallons of gasoline or whatever, yeah. But yeah, you got it. You're good. Three to 5. And it's girls to boys. So girls 3, boys 5.
Kevin says there must be 8 students in the classroom, which explains whether Kevin is correct. Kevin is correct because 3 girls, 5 boys equals.
Oh, I see what it's asking. This is an interesting one.
Well, I mean, because I divided the 3 over 5, and it's like 0.6. I don't know.
Yeah.
The ratio of girls to boys in the classroom is 3.5. Okay. The ratio of girls to boys. Kevin says there must be 8 students in the classroom, which explains whether Kevin is correct.
So
But how is it 3.5 or 3?
3 to 5. Yeah, let me share this one. 3 to 5. So this one says the ratio of girls to boys is 3 to 5. That means for every
3 over. So one of them is, well, the ratio of girls to boys. So there's 3 girls to 5 boys, right?
Yeah. So this is the tricky part, because there could be 8 students, and then his reasoning would be correct, but it doesn't have to be. It doesn't. I think it says Kevin says that there must be 8. There doesn't have to be 8 people.
The ratio in that school or classrooms are 3 to 5 boys. Doesn't mean, yeah.
So like, this is kind of the smallest ratio that we can get. We can't reduce this anymore. If I try to divide this by 3 and this by 3, 5 doesn't divide by 3 evenly. So we can't reduce this anymore. But I could like get this as a decimal, and that would be 3 divided by 5 would be 0.6. And then I'm thinking, okay, that doesn't mean that there are 3 girls in the class and 5 boys, which means a total of 8 students. It just means that for every 3 girls that I group together, I can group together 5 boys. But I could do those groupings more than one time. So like I could have 6 to 10. So I could have 6 girls and 10 boys, which means I would have 16 students. But if I divided this, 6 divided by 10 still gives you 0.6. Like if you do that in the calculator. So
what's that squiggly line right here to your left?
Oh, that means approximate. I didn't mean to do that. If you,
it's just 2 equals, right?
yeah, if you
Okay.
like write down, like say the fraction is 0.666 repeating 666. If you say that,
6 there, forget it.
but you don't want to, or like maybe it's like 6, 7, 8, 2, 5, or whatever. Say it's a huge long decimal. If you only want to write, or you want to round it, like if you round it to the 7, you look at this one and then you round up. So this would be 0.68. The squiggly equal sign just means it's approximately, like you rounded it. So it's not exactly the same answer, but it's approximately. That's what that means. I didn't mean to write that. Yeah. It just means you like round it or something. It's very close to it. But anyway, so 3 out of 5 means there could be 8 students, but there could also be 6 girls and 10 boys, because that still gives you the same ratio. If we simplified this fraction, divide by 2 and divide by 2, we end up with 3. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So we end up with the same thing. So I think the answer on that one is I think it was the third one. He says like the fraction is reduced or something. What does it say?
Which explains whether Kevin is correct.
So he's incorrect because there doesn't have to be 8 students. Because Kevin says there must be 8 students. But that's not true. There could be 8 students, there could be 16 students, or any number of students, as long as the ratio simplifies.
3.5 may be a simplified ratio.
That's the one. Kevin is incorrect because 3 to 5 may be a simplified ratio. Because we unsimplified it and got 6 over 10. Same ratio, just not simplified. And it was a different number of students, so it didn't have to be. So it's the third one. Wait. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I went.
A pound of raisins costs $2, and a pound of almonds costs $5. 6 pounds of trail mix contains 2 more pounds of raisins than almonds. What is the cost of 6 pounds of trail mix? That's confusing. I gotta read that again.
Yeah, I gotta read it. Okay.
6 pounds of trail mix contains 2 more pounds of raisins.
So let's just say $4, right? Because well, never mind. All right, go ahead and do your own thing. I'm just gonna.
Yeah, I still. I'm gonna try some stuff. Okay. It says 6 pounds of trail mix. So 6 pounds only for trail mix. Does that mean just it's raisins and almonds and that's it?
Yeah, but the trail mix contains 2 more pounds. of raisins than it does the almonds.
So I think with that we can figure out. I mean, it has to add up to 6 pounds. So how many pounds of almonds and how many pounds of raisins? If the raisins have to be 2 more pounds than the almonds, and they still have to add up to 6.
True.
What would that be?
So
Like we could figure it out.
7 times 6 would be 42.
6 pounds of trail mix contain 2 more pounds.
It costs $2.
All right, this is what I'm thinking.
6 pounds of trail mix contains 2 more pounds of raisins than almonds. Okay. So there's 6 pounds of trail mix, but 2 less pounds of almonds in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Think about it like this. What's one way where you can take some number of pounds, any number of pounds of, pick a number of pounds for the raisins. Pick a number. Can't go over 6.
5 pounds.
5 pounds. Okay, so if there's 5 pounds of raisins and the whole thing has to be 6 pounds, how many pounds of almonds are there?
Just 1.
Just 1.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but okay.
So-
now I'm confused.
If there
I know
was
what you.
Here, let me just write it out so you can see it too. Because it said there are 6 pounds of trail mix.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ignore the rest of the information for now. But there's 6 pounds of trail mix, and I'm going to assume that the trail mix is just almonds and raisins. So if you had, like you said, if you had 1 for almonds, then you have to have, that means 5 for raisins, right? Well, if you have, I'm just going to write out all the different ways that you can get 6 pounds without doing like decimal stuff, because that's not what it's like working on right now. But if you had 2 almonds, 2 pounds of almonds, then how many raisins do you have to have?
0, because it's 2 more pounds.
I'm saying ignore that. The only thing that you're paying attention to is this. The whole thing altogether has to be 6
This
pounds.
one really confused the crap out of me. And it shouldn't have. 1 pound of almonds, 5 raisins.
Yeah.
2 pounds of almonds, 10 raisins.
No, it has to add up to, so 1 plus 5 is 6. 2 plus what will give you 6? That's what it has to add up to. Because the total pounds of the trail mix is 6 pounds.
Yeah.
So 2 plus what gives you 6?
Let me go read it. I feel like it's hard. 6 pounds of trail mix contains 2 more pounds of raisins and almonds.
I'm saying forget about the
Forget about the question.
yeah, just
So now you're asking me one pound of almonds equals 5 pounds of raisins?
no, I'm saying
No.
the whole
Okay, so it'd be 4.
yeah, 4.
I see
But-
now. I just looked at the top. Yeah.
So and I'm just writing out stuff. If I decide that there are 3 pounds of almonds, how many pounds of raisins must there be to get
3.
to 6 pounds total? 3. And I'm just going to keep doing this. 4 almonds means that there are what for
You're just
raisins?
going backwards now.
Yeah.
It'll be 2, right?
2 raisins, and then 5 pounds of almonds. It would
Equals to
mean
1.
1 pound of raisins. Now I'm going to add in that other piece of information, which was something had to be two more pounds than the other thing.
The raisin has to be 2 more pounds than the almonds in the trail mix.
Okay, so out of these, which one has 2 more pounds of raisins than the pounds of almonds?
Number 2, or the second one.
Yeah. So there has to be 2 pounds of almonds and 4 pounds of raisins.
So that'd be the $18.
Oh, there we go. Is that?
Yeah, the way you made it seem, it's ways.
It was a weird one. I had to read it a couple times, but I don't know if that's how you would do it, or like what you would do if you didn't remember that.
Figure it out, yeah. But I probably would have.
I was just thinking, it told me that there needed to be 6 pounds total, and then it also told me that there are 2 more pounds of raisins than almonds. So I was trying to, okay, what does it mean to have 6 pounds total?
Yeah, so you had 4. Yeah, I see it.
And then I was trying to decide, the only way.
Like when you were teaching your students, right? Do you have to do these type of courses or like
yeah?
Whole COVID or anything like that?
We wouldn't do it so quickly though. We would spend a lot of like we do a problem just like the one we just did, and then we would do like 10, 15 more that day. Yeah. Okay. So that they get used to just that one type of problem. Then we move on. This is going a lot faster. All right. Well, I don't know how to say that name. FOD?
I don't know. They got some weird names. Model racing car drives at an average speed of 3 feet per second. FOD records the distance and times in a table like the one shown below. At this rate, how long will it take the car to travel 21 feet? So FOD drives a model racing car drives at an average of 3 feet per second. Well, that to me, I would just, it's 7.0.
Yep. Because so if they were trying to get you to fill out the table, like to find a pattern, I don't even know why they show you a table. Because there's not even enough. But if you put a, like, you know, where it says time in that in the time row, the next empty box, if you put a 2, what would be the top box for that?
6.3, right?
I think it would just be 6 because it goes, the unit rate is 3 to 1.
These are wrong answers. I'm going off that. Yeah, so it'd be the 6
and then you put a 3, and then it would be what 9, and you keep going, and then you see which one ends up with 21, and it would be the 7.
True.
Or you could just do the 21 divided by 3 and it's 7, but whichever way you can figure it out, that one works.
Well, whatever. The whole thing about trying to pass this is just to get to have the high school diploma. You know? Because I feel like COVID, I don't know, it might ruin things. Who knows? I might lose my fucking job. Who knows? You know. I mean, everything's going. It's busy at HRD right now.
Does a lot of people like not being able to work, or has
you know, when it first started, they started cutting. Like they split everybody into 2 teams besides us. Like me and Cody got split up, and he had 1 week off. I had a week off. Then he had another week off, and then they sent us back because we're a small group.
Wow.
And we're not there with everybody, right? And then, yeah. So now it's just Javier, which you train, remember?
Yeah.
And then we got Kenny from shipping. And then, like, right now we're busy because we have, like, bus bottles coming in. And then they're just doing regular work.
Wow.
Which is, it's all easy because the bus bottles ain't coming in. We got 12 today. I told them, dude, just, like, knock them out.
Yeah.
There's a lot of work to be done.
Dude, I forgot about the bus bottle part. Huh?
I know, dude. There's been a lot. Dude, we shot one off. That dude Raimi was like doing some testing, and he shot one off. Luckily, it didn't shoot none of us, but it shot straight into the wall.
Oh
It
damn!
wasn't good.
The whole bottle or just the safety
made a
valve?
squib. Oh no, we've had like 2 of those. Well, that day, right? So he made a squib, which is that little device that screws in on the top of the head. You know, that shoot off. So he made one, and we to test, so he could start building his own.
Oh, like he fabricated one.
Yeah, we epoxied the bottom, and I was like, dude, you need to fill it in. You know, like the ones that we have here, they're all filled in with epoxy. Nah, it's fine, dude. We're just gonna do it. So him, and Javier are in there. So I moved out the way, and I had my glasses on, and then he shot it off. So it shot the disc and blew out the whole thing, and then the powder just started flowing out the back end, not to the tube. You know,
Damn.
it filled the room. I just closed the doors, and I was like,
Yeah. Javier, clean this up.
yeah, like after like vacuuming, once it all settled.
Damn.
I don't know if you're looking for work, dude. In the part-time, you know, you could get a job there.
Not yet. Christine's
you're
taking
not
care of
doing
me
it,
now.
Not only there, dude. They're hiring all over the place right there.
So, tomorrow, I don't know if I can yet because Christine was thinking about asking some people over. But if you,
Oh, don't worry about it. Tomorrow, I don't think I'll be around either because I think I was gonna go like to the outlets after work.
okay,
So if you want Saturday, we can do like an hour or 2. You know? If
yeah,
you want.
yeah. Just text me whenever you're thinking, and then
Yeah. And like, I would rather you go through with this, right? I should just take notes and start watching the videos in case the teacher's like, "Hey, you're passing every pretest." You know? What's going on?
yeah.
Well, give me a freaking question and I can pass it. You know. She hasn't said anything yet, and I did pretty good on that last test.
I think pre-tests keep going, and if you keep there's going to be a test at the end, right? Or is it just all of this?
So after this, at the end of this, there's going to be like the lesson test.
Well, if there's
Which is it's the one that's 25 questions.
Yeah. Do they ever make you record yourself on a
No.
webcam?
Even so, when I would go in, I got a tutor there at the school.
Yeah.
Before COVID, but the guy was a prick, dude. I freaking asked him because I didn't know what to do, and he just walked up. He's like, "Well, he showed me, right?" But he was like, "That's how you do it. You know, this is how you do it. That's it's pretty simple." And I was like, "You didn't show me, dude. You did it for me." And then he walked off, and then he started bragging to this lady about all his majors that he's getting. And
That fucking sucks.
Like he didn't show me anything.
God
So
damn.
I was like, "Hey, what the hell am I here for?" So I never went back. I just tried to do it on my own, and it's hard.
Yeah. Is it
So I
so
learned more last week from you than anybody, I think.
cool? That's cool. Do you have to
Okay.
go in to take the 25 question test?
No, like you can do it with me. It doesn't matter.
All right. Well, whenever we get there, we'll see. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, once I freaking get done with this shit, you're gonna get a bonus, man.
Well, we'll see. You got to pass first.
No, I'm not even lying, dude. Trust me, dude. I've almost been told them just fucking pass me, dude. I'm not gonna need this stuff when I go to work.
Right. That's a crazy thing. It's so.
I'm not going
controlled.
for an engineer or nothing, So I'm just trying to get it done to happen.
Cool. All right. Well, let me
Honestly,
know
I still wanna
anytime
learn,
Saturday.
And I'm learning from you, and I can watch all the videos.
Yeah, and I'll text you the link for this one whenever it's up.
For sure, tomorrow, whenever you get a chance, don't worry about it.
All right, man. I'll talk
Thanks,
to
man. Have a good
you.
weekend, man. I'll hit you up Saturday or something
Sounds good.
if you're around. Thanks, man.
All right. Bye.